In this video, I'm going to talk about hooking up AI agents in IDEs like Cursor or Windsurf to Firebase with MCP. This use case is especially interesting to me because I have a poker flashcard app with thousands of users that stores all of its data on Firestore. I have a bunch of questions about my data, and while I could set up a full-blown analytics tool, it's much easier if the AI can just translate my natural language questions into database queries. This is now possible thanks to MCP. There is an official Firebase MCP server recently released, but when I started this, it didn't exist, so I used an open source one by Gannon Hall. My goal was simple: figure out what percent of users study each deck. Firestore has a built-in count method, but neither the official server nor Gannon supported it. Luckily, Gannon codes was clean and minimal, and so I just added the feature myself. Now, to add the capability so that the AI will be able to call this new count method, I needed to make two changes. The first is I need to list what the tool is so the AI know that it exists and how to call it. We do this in this server set request handler list tools request schema. And you'll see for each tool, we describe the name, what it does, and what parameters we can call it with. So I added this one, Firestore count documents. I tell it that it'll count the number of documents, and you provide it the name of the collection you'd like to count, and any filters if you want to narrow down which specific documents in the collection you want to count. And the second part, down in this call tool request schema, this is where we actually implement the functionality, where we actually do the count. You can see this is where Firestore add document is done. So I'm going to go down to where I added Firestore count documents, and you can see we have the code to get the collection, to string together these filter queries, and then to actually call the count method, not getting the whole collection, but just getting the count, saving us from a lot of high cost and compute time. I asked the AI to write this code, and it mostly nailed it, but it added order by and pagination to a count query, which makes no sense since there's nothing to sort or paginate when you just want a number. That was a quick and easy fix, but it does show that AI generated code still sometimes needs human review. Last but not least, let's verify it actually works in Cursor. We can head back and we say, can you count all the documents in my collections, sessions 2? I do have to approve the tool run, and you can see it quickly return 18,000 documents. Not possible to count that many so quickly. It was done server side, which is exactly what we want. And if you're curious about the product question I answered, it is this poker flashcard app. This is not a poker channel, but you can see you could pick cash game or tournament. I was just curious which users were doing more often. I expected tournament, but I was able to ask the AI how many in each sessions and see it's actually about 60% cash games. Really useful insight into my product usage. And again, I'm sure most people would recommend an analytics platform for these type of questions. I do actually have Posthog set up for exactly this stuff, but being able to just ask in natural language in English and not have to worry about setting up Posthog events or build dashboards is really convenient. I hope this was helpful, and I'm just trying to show you the general idea on YouTube. If you want more details and more resources, check the description. I will link to my Substack newsletter, aiengineering.report. I also have more resources on my personal website, billprin.com. And feel free to find my email there, reach out with any questions. If this was helpful, I appreciate any likes, subscribes, or shares. Thank you.